All right, everybody, we're back live. We had a little bit of a issue this time around. Anyway, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. Looks like it's working now, Angela says. All right, everybody. So here we are live. Was going to give you a little bit of a health update of what's going on with me. We've even got Doug back here, who we were talking about in the first one. Everything's going really good for me. I'm very happy. I'm very healthy. I did have some issues that kind of freaked me out. I thought I would just roll them right here. In the morning, the last couple of days, I had pain when I went to the bathroom. It wasn't bad, but it was just scary because I'm weaning off of prednisone and I'm down to 30 milligrams. And whenever I come off prednisone, this colitis comes back and it freaks me out that I have a little bit of pain right now. There's so many possibilities and scenarios here of what could be going on. I did try some new things. As I was talking to you guys before, I came off graham crackers completely, pretty much almost all refined sugar, not all refined sugar, but most of it. And my next goal was to start lowering saltine crackers. So I started using nori sheets, and those are kind of like, tough. And it was working. I was completely happy with that. But in the morning, I had some pain when I went to the bathroom, and I could see like little pieces of nori in there. I was just like, oh boy. So I was like, okay, I have a little bit of pain, no big deal. It's probably the nori sheet, so I stopped. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna use lettuce leaves. I haven't done vegetables in a while. I've done steamed vegetables, but not raw vegetables. I'm like, lettuce should be fine. So I did a few lettuce leaves, same thing this morning. So it could be that, or it could be me weaning off prednisone and I'm getting to the point like, okay, the Humira might not be working. This is where it gets kind of freaky for me. But I'm not gonna stress it out because, I just went to the bathroom a little bit ago, had zero pain, it was completely fine. Also walked my 3 miles this morning, just take it day by day, but I was freaking out pretty hardcore before, but now I'm good. Right now we got Angela's out and about. I've got the kids here. They've got some friends over. Bit of chaos, but that's right. And I decided to do a video in the midst of the chaos. That's all right. Anyway, things are going really good. I'm excited. We have these Symbiotic Probiotics. Someone says, are you still reading the Bible every day? No. The whole militant thing about like, you must pray or you must read the Bible. Like there's people who follow his commandments and don't read and pray, and then there's people who read and pray and don't follow the commandments. What's better? Like, where does it say you must read the Bible? It doesn't say that anywhere. It's freaking nonsense and it pisses me off. Sorry. Okay. We have these at cost right now. This is a really cool probiotic that I love. What's really cool about them is they taste really good. They're first off, this is like certified organic, the probiotic, which is very much unheard of. And what it is this huge probiotic tablet. And what's really cool about this, it's all right, man. I have this little thing because I'm done like putting people on pedestals. That was one of my biggest downfalls, putting man on pedestals all my life. And then you learn later on like how messed up these people are, and it's just crazy. It's like ridiculously crazy. And there was one person I put on a pedestal. Someone saying, did you ever try fully fruitarian? I'll say that in a second. And they were very like militant about reading the Bible, and I have this huge adversity towards it, so don't like, it's my own stuff, don't worry about it, man. But like, it's not necessary. Like, I've read the entire thing. Like, it's not necessary, in my opinion, for me, where I'm at, if that makes sense. Anyway, have I ever been fully fruitarian? She asked me 1 second. We'll get back to that question. So here is, thanks Terry. And it's the same thing with prayer, everybody. Like I do my heart and soul is to follow his commandments, the 10 commandments, or the most important things. And don't get me wrong, I'm the type of guy who takes it to the edge. Whatever I'm allowed to do, I'm gonna do it. I'll take it to the edge. I don't like. I even bought the URL christtotheedge.com or something like that. Like, I'll go as far as I can, but what I do is I follow it with all my heart. And so I'm kind of like almost in prayer by doing this. Like I almost feel like I don't pray like at night, like in the standard commercials that you see at night, and I don't do that rarely. And I sometimes feel guilty about it, but I'm like kind of getting myself out of that. Like every last breathing moment is so important to me to follow those 10 things to where I'm like, sorry, like all throughout the day I'm doing that. Like that's what's the most important in my opinion. I mean, whatever. Okay, so the Sunbiotic Probiotics, what's really cool about these for the 20th time is they taste really freaking good. They literally taste, many people have said this, like Lucky Charms marshmallows. If you guys remember back in the day, Angela used to literally eat one bottle of these after a meal. I used to have the vitamin bulk, I'm not kidding, because they taste so good. But what I love to do with these, they're at cost on our website right now. They're normally like $30. I think they're like half price, 16 if you get a 3-pack. At the rawfoodworld.com, just click the at cost specials. When I'm done with the meal, and you're kind of like hankering for something sweet or something like that, or more food, or whatever, I just shove one of these in my mouth and I just fumble it in my mouth, and you get, you could chew it, which is really good too. But I'll just like fumble it in my mouth. I guess I have some oral fixation problem, and I will just suck on it completely until it's gone, and and by the time that's done, I'm like not even hungry anymore. It's pretty cool. Yeah. Thank you, Crystal. She says she's praying for my family, asking for a miracle. I'm hoping for a miracle too. I was really nervous when I started experiencing pain because I haven't had pain in a while. I'm down to 30 milligrams of prednisone. Here's all the possible scenarios here. I'm going to the bathroom in the middle of the day and there's no pain, so that's really good news. It's only been in the morning. It could be from the lettuce and the nori sheets that I've just been messing around with, trying to reduce saltine crackers. Raw foods sometimes, like, don't get me wrong, I eat plenty of like fruits. I eat lots of blueberries every single day, like a lot of them. I eat a lot of oranges. If you've been watching me on Instagram, you see me piling away. I like drink the juice out of it. Like I'll just like chew on it. I don't eat fiber. And every morning, what I do is I take like 3 or 4 oranges, depending on the size of the orange, and I'll just like cut it in wedges and then just like get the juice and not get any fiber. It's kind of like getting my vitamin C intake every single morning, because vitamin C isn't produced by the human body, and that's important. And so I make sure I have that. If I don't have oranges available, I use our Camu powder. Oh, good, it worked. Which is the highest. That's why I like superfood powder so much. It's the highest concentration of vitamin C, and you just need a little itty bitty bit, and you'll get your vitamin C content. Dr. Norman Walker, back in the day, he used to be very much into, like, he used to say he would do the orange juice every single morning to make sure he gets his vitamin C intake every morning, because the body doesn't produce it on its own, and that was just something he did. And then he would wait 30 minutes and then have vegetable juice. I usually do coconut water, the Harmless Harvest one. In the back in the day, this would have been a sin for me. I know it, because it's bottled. Just so for those of you not catching on to that. But yeah, so these Sunbiotic Probiotics are really cool. They taste really good. They taste like Lucky Charms marshmallows, but they're really healthy. The sweetener in here is Yukon, which is really good for the colon. It's a prebiotic. Clinical studies have shown that it helps remove polyps from the colon in certain areas, and makes defecation happen more frequently, and shrinks the waistline. It's just a really cool probiotic that you might want to check out. Sunbiotic Probiotics, the rawfoodworld.com, half price, the Raw Food World. Go to the at-cost specials, scroll down through the specials, you'll find it at some point. All right, so all the possibilities and scenarios here. Let's take a look.
Wait, Maddie, don't catch me.
So maybe it's from these things that I've been eating, which kind of sucks that I can't eat certain things. And this is why you can see why when I was on a raw food diet, I was bleeding like crazy when I had ulcerative colitis. So it's not something I could do, even if I wanted to. Like, I'm hoping that that's what's going on. My diet, you guys, is like super clean. I know I said I eat saltine crackers, but most people cannot eat what I eat. I eat only 2 meals a day. It's not a lot, and most people wouldn't be able to do it. It's like, you know, pioneer status level. Like, you know, I went on a 100% raw food diet overnight. I have the ability to do this. I have no problem eating the same thing every single day. There was a guy named Luigi Cornaro back who had some sort of colon disease. And the way he healed his disease was he only ate 16 ounces of food every single day, like for the rest of his life, and he just got better with no issues. And he only drank a certain amount of liquid. And then, you know, he was getting older and his family was like, hey, you should eat more, you know. Anyway, he went up and he ended up sick because he was eating that consistent diet for so many decades. He ended up sick for a few days, so we went down to 12 ounces of food. He lived to be a very old age with, you know, this disease that he had. So I'm kind of like at that level where, for example, for breakfast every morning, I have 3 eggs, a yogurt that has 0 sugar in it, and blueberries. That's it. That's my entire breakfast every single morning. Nothing else. And the eggs are scrambled. Before that, I walk 3 miles, and before that, I drink the oranges I was telling you about. And then when I get back from the hour and a 15-minute walk or whatever, however long that is, I'll drink 32 ounces of coconut water, and then I do this meal after another hour.
Over here.
So we got a fruitarian here who thinks that that thing help me. That's how I almost died when I was doing fruitarian. It didn't work. That was like the method that all the raw vegans, extreme raw foodies who healed from colitis did. David Klein, someone's really into this whole fruitarian thing. And that's the point where I collapsed in Angela's arms with a death rattle in my voice, and I was sent to the hospital for the first time. And yeah, so the fruitarian thing was probably the worst thing I could have done, to the point of where I almost died. People don't understand that this is a disease. Just because 2 raw food eaters supposedly had success, one of them's dead at an early age, which is David Klein, who had supposedly had success by eating only raw foods or fruit on a raw food diet and healed their colitis. And there's maybe one other person on the internet. There are many other people on the internet who healed this disease doing many other things too. You can't just go based off of one person. And disease is not so cut and dry where you think you're safe. What was your name, Jamie? You're like from everything by being on a raw food diet. Like you can run, but you can't hide. Like if it's coming for you, it's coming for you, and that's kind of like one of my messages. Like this is one of the reasons why it happened. I almost feel like, for example, like it's not about diet. You know, I mean, yes, it can help with things like blood pressure and stuff like this, but I've met many people who have died on a raw food diet with cancer. One of my best friends, who was a raw vegan ice cream maker, sold at the farmer's market, died on a raw food diet, died of cancer.
I don't know.
Was the most strict raw foodist I ever knew. You can't run from it, but from cancer by being on a raw food diet. If it's coming for you, it's coming for you. No offense. Many people have healed from cancer on a raw food diet also, but they've also healed it from being on other diets. So, whoops. It's just like, I'm just trying to break through this narrow-mindedness and this movement of, this is like some sort of golden, holy grail. And that's not the case. It really isn't. One of the reasons why I'm so popular is because, many people have I've worked with so many people over the years trying to help them heal from their diseases naturally. And you know how many people have failed? Like, you see all these raw gurus on YouTube and on Facebook, and they're always talking about their successes. They have so many failures, and you know, they don't even mention them. You know what I mean? It's not a full picture of what's really going on. If you're doing this, then you know. I've been doing this for 20 years, and there's more people who fail than actually succeed. And it's kind of getting ridiculous already. I mean, there's a whole major spiritual component that is in play here. For example, thanks, Jason. If we're looking at the different religions, let's just look. You know, you guys all know that you know, I'm a believer in Christ, and I'm not like gonna preach and go crazy like, you know, some people do. But when he would heal someone from disease, you know, he would be like, you know, sometimes he would say, sin no more. That was like their problem. That was like their issue for that particular person. He didn't say, go improve your diet. It had no bearing on their disease. There is a whole entire spiritual component going on. For me personally, it's almost like there's this entity, an outside entity that has entered in me, almost like this parasite that I feel on an ongoing basis in this area of where my disease is, and I'm constantly battling to remove it. You can call it Crohn's, you can call it colitis, or whatever you want, but I have a freaking parasitical spiritual disease that I'm battling and fighting to get rid of. And I'm alive, and I'm happy. That's like the most important. And there's a reason why it's there. I don't know what the reason is. It could be a million different reasons. One could be I'm being tested, you know, like Job. Maybe it's keeping me in line. Maybe it's keeping me in line because, you know, I'm pretty crazy. And if I don't have something like this holding me down, God only knows what I would do in the spiritual world and in this physical world. You know, I'd be all over the place. If that makes sense. There's so many possibilities and scenarios. Maybe I'm held to a higher standard, and if I just look the wrong way, sometimes I do look the wrong way just for an instant, and I got to deal with what's up, Brandon, all this spiritual crap for days. Sometimes I'm just walking down the street and I get attacked on a spiritual level. I'm very sensitive to these things. I didn't even do anything, and they go to my weakness. So there's just so many possibilities and scenarios, but to say that diet is the holy grail into healing is just absolutely nonsense. See, I was misdiagnosed, they said, because what happened was I got the surgery to remove my colon, and that was supposed to heal me and get rid of the disease. And I was like, all right, I hope that's what happens. But now they say because it didn't, it came back, that I was misdiagnosed, and they're just changing the title of it. But what I see is this spiritual parasite, this foreign spiritual entity inside of me that I'm continually fighting off that comes back. That's what I see. You could call it whatever you want. You could call it Crohn's or colitis. There was nothing they could do about that, from my standpoint. So, I had pain in the morning when I went to the bathroom for 2 days in a row, and I freaked out. I'm hoping that it was the lettuce or the nori sheets. Other possible scenarios is I'm lowering prednisone, and now all of a sudden it's coming back. Humira maybe hasn't kicked in yet because it takes 3 months. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I just got to take it day by day. But since I'm doing this hangout, I'm feeling a little bit better about it because I went to the bathroom a second time during the day, and I do feel there was zero pain, so that's good. So we're going to see over the next couple days. I'm not going to be eating any lettuce or nori sheets and seeing what happens there in the mornings. Yeah, I'm really excited about that. Yeah. So, but it was scary just because I know what will happen if the Humira doesn't work. Like, I'll just be in trouble. Or we'll try something else and then something else, and then it could get ugly, if you know what I mean. And plus, what really sucks is, like, the prednisone makes you kind of fat. I barely eat, you guys. And this is like when you wean off, you get this prednisone moon phase. I guess if I'm not weaning off and I'm just steady with it forever, maybe that will go down. But I think it's when you're coming off of it. It just really bothers me. It makes me self-conscious. I know everybody thinks I look great. Thank you. But for me personally, it's kind of like a big deal. Like, it really bothers me. Yeah, I'd rather be alive and deal with that than be dead. And we'll see what happens. Someone says I still have great hair. Yeah, and this whole thing about like, just for the record, as if you guys follow me on my stories or Instagram, I started doing videos again just because I feel like I got to get out there more, and instead of just sitting around doing nothing. And I was a little self-conscious, so I stopped doing them. So now I'm doing them every day again, trying to. And I mentioned this on Instagram, and then like the comments I got were just ridiculous. Like one person was like, "Oh, you used to be so handsome. Like, make sure brush your hair. Like, you should brush your hair now and again." And then I mentioned another comment that was just even more ridiculous. Like, "Oh, you lost what you had. You're vibrant. Your vitality. Da 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 da." And I hope you get that back. And like I, as if I had this like bitter, like this attitude I have right now. I've had it since, just for the record, I have always been like this. You guys know that. I'm always complaining. I love the drama. I go nuts about that. And you all know that my hair is, I've never really, I comb my hair every once in a while, fine, but when it was long. But I practically had dreads for not touching it for like a very long time. There's no difference here. And I've only gained, I haven't lost anything. Anyway. Thanks, Henrik. He says that I'm so authentic and transparent. I try to be. I don't know any other way, actually. Yeah. So, again, we got these probiotics that taste like Lucky Charms marshmallows. I fumble them in my mouth after a meal when you're still hankering for food, and then as time goes on, it just goes away. It's pretty cool. We also just got peeling nuts in at cost, and then also the peeling nut butter. What I love about this is it's just 3 ingredients: peeling nuts, stone ground, maybe not stone ground, it's just ground down. And it's added the coconut blossom sugar that we have on our website. That's really good, that pasty stuff, with salt, Himalayan salt or something like that. And what's really cool about the peeling nut is it's very high in fat, like super high in fat. I like taking a peeling nut. They're almost like soft. They're so fresh and good. I like to put them in the freezer though, and they kind of like harden up. And they almost have a chocolate texture. I take one out and I like kind of like nibble down off the brown shell skin, and then I just like eat it, and it just like melts in your mouth. It almost has a chocolate flavor, just a straight nut. But it's pretty cool because it's so high in fat. You put it in the refrigerator, the peeling nut butter, and it hardens like chocolate. I was the one who discovered that, by the way. Brought it to the raw food world. Now, this is how it went. It went from, they used to make chocolate before raw chocolate came around out of coconut oil. Coconut oil. You put that in the refrigerator, it hardens up. And it was the closest thing you could get to raw chocolate back in the day. But as soon as you take it out of the refrigerator, it melts and you gotta eat it immediately. Then I came out with peeling nut chocolate, which lasts a little bit longer. Oh, I discovered it. And then they came out with raw chocolate. But you can do the peeling nut butter. I have one over there, but I'm not gonna go run and get it. And you can do it without the stimulation of cacao. It's pretty cool. TheRawFoodWorld.com if you want to support me and my family. Go check it out. Check out the at-cost specials. Some popular products that we've had recently is the papaya seed powder. That was a really popular one that was shown in clinical studies to remove parasites. Just like the dried papaya seeds that we sell was just a similar product like that. They found in Nigeria children that compared to placebo, that 70 to 100% of the parasites were gone compared to like 10% on the placebo. It's pretty cool. Another really popular product is people have some sleeping issues. We have a new herb called Sleep Deep. It's just 2 herbs. I forgot the 2 names of them. Anyway, it's 2 Chinese herbs that we discovered, and we put it in a formulation, and it's been helping people sleep. Start low, build up high. If you're sensitive like me, you don't want to take the recommended dosage. You just want like 1/4 of a teaspoon. but I think the recommendation is like 1 to 2 teaspoons.
To 10?
So just be careful with that. Most people would probably need the 1 to 2 teaspoons. But if you're sensitive to me, it might keep you up versus put you to sleep. So it's called Sleep Deep on our website. You just type in Sleep Deep in the search field and it will pop up. Yeah, lots of cool stuff. Okay, so back to this thing. Had pain in the morning. I'm doing good now.
10.
Throughout the day, I'm hoping it's the nori and the lettuce and not me coming off of prednisone. But regardless, when you come off of prednisone, from my experience, you get achy. I was very achy when I did it too fast.
Can you make all the ones on your phone and different ones?
Thanks, Jason. He says I offer good information.
Wait, what? Dan?
And last time, like, I have an old shoulder injury. I used to bench like literally 300 pounds, 305 pounds I got up to before I crapped out my body when I was like 18, 20 years old. And it just like came back really bad when I was down to like 5 milligrams of prednisone. Right now I'm at 30. And my whole entire, I thought like, almost felt like I had arthritis. It was just ridiculous. And they said that colitis and rheumatoid arthritis kind of run side by side, and they told me that I might have that. And maybe I do, I don't know. They said the prednisone might have just been masking it. And I just wouldn't accept that. And as time went on, these pains went away a little bit, but I was in such a bad state again to where I was ending up bedridden again from not being able to, from the ulcers coming back and from coming off prednisone. So we're hoping the Humira works. I'm hoping I don't have rheumatoid arthritis also. Oh man, I'm just a wreck, guys. But doing good, very good. I also ended up with osteoporosis. I'm not sure if you guys know that. That was nutso. They say it's from not absorbing from the colitis, not the raw food diet. Yeah. What else? We have the 100% raw cashews. These are truly raw Indonesian cashews. On our website. We're not gonna get more until August probably. The whole cashews, we have probably like 100 and something left. But in the meantime, I was able to get the cashew pieces. These are truly raw, one of the most creamiest, best tasting raw cashews on the planet from Indonesia. They're frozen in a certain specific way, and then they're hand cracked with a special knife to ensure that they're 100% raw, making them the most creamiest cashews in the world. And we have cashew pieces available. If you remember back in the day when I used to like make kale chips, or I would use them to make some sort of burger sauce. Sometimes I would dump in the cashew pieces because I was saving so much money versus the whole cashews because they're less expensive. And right now they're at cost, so they're super inexpensive and they're just the best cashews. If you want to go check that out at therawfoodworld.com, I would get the cashew pieces. All this is on the at cost page. It's pretty cool. We also have our raw cacao powder, paste, nibs, and butter at cost for like 12 something each. The powder and the nibs, and the other ones are like 13 maybe when you get a 3-pack. Yeah, so you should go check it out. Okay, did you get it to work? I'm doing a video, but okay. The other possibilities and scenarios that I was thinking,
What is this?
when I was feeling this pain, I had this like whole thing in my head. I don't know. I'm hoping that that's pretty much. So we got maybe it's the food that I'm eating, even though that shouldn't happen. And maybe it's coming off the prednisone. Maybe it's the Humira not kicking in yet because it could take 3 months, they say. And maybe it's just time from prednisone getting used to being on less. I don't know. There's so many possibilities and scenarios. I'm a little nervous. Feeling better working it out with you guys here, which is really cool. Anyways, guys. Someone says they want to support us. They're not a raw food eater, but they'll check out our website. Yeah, there's much stuff on our website that you can get. That's, I'm not a raw food eater, and I just got an order in right now. We have Living Libations beauty products. Angela just got the ginger scrub. She loves that. We've got best skin evers, all sorts of things like that. These are the most high-end, most awesome natural beauty products you can possibly imagine. So if you go to beauty products and living libations, in the category living libations under beauty products, you'll have a field day having fun shopping there. There's shampoos, face tonics, things like that. So you might want to check it out. Someone says if we still have our space in Ecuador. Remember I said I'd never put a man on a pedestal ever again? Well, I was conned out of my property. I'm looking into suing, trying to get it back. We'll see what happens. So many possibilities and scenarios there too. And what else? What else? It's getting a bit hectic here. Ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-dong. Yeah, okay, I don't see any more questions. It's getting hectic here. I think we should probably close it off. I'm trying to come on every single day now. Hang with the people. And the rawfoodworld.com is where it's at. Oh yeah, what else? You could use nori sheets. What's up, Luca? What else do we have on our website? We have all sorts of things. Yeah, just go browse. Anyone can get stuff there. And even if you don't eat raw foods, there's yummy foods that you can grab onto. We've got raw chocolate covered dried fruits, raw chocolate covered nuts, chocolate bars, nutritional yeast. Everybody needs nutritional yeast. This is the unfortified stuff, like really good stuff. Yeah, go check it out. All right. Peace out, everybody. Mwah.